Tesana, I bring you greetings right from Yaoundé. Still here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I stand on existing protocol and I recognize all the esteemed participants in this regional webinar on the International Literacy Day 2020. This UNESCO regional webinars on the International Literacy Day 2020 celebration in Sub-Saharan Africa with the theme Policy Dialogue on Innovative Methodologies for Youth and Adult Literacy Programs in the midst of the pandemic and beyond, and the role of educators is very timely and sits within the mandate of my department, the Department of Human Resources, Science and Technology. But before I go on, I bring you warm greetings from the African Union Commission, special greetings and best wishes from His Excellency Dr. Musa Faki Mahamat, the chairperson of the African Union Commission. He is very, very much interested in education because for the Africa we want by 2063, we need education. That vision of an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa, driven by its own competent and skilled citizens, able to play in the global arena, can only be realized when we put education in the right place. Now, the role of educators is very, very important. So, therefore, I am really honored by the invitation to speak at this sub-regional, regional webinars. COVID-19 has impressed upon us the urgent need to rethink and re-engineer innovative learning methods and strategies that are teaching and learning without the need for physical presence. Open distance and e-learning models must now be part of the unassailable architecture of accessible, quality, and relevant education and training provision. As institutions move forward in this new normal, as institutions plan their reopening strategies, we need to be fundamentally engaged in reviewing of the very purpose of education in a more digitally enabled, complex, and fast-changing world. The growth potential of the digital economy also presents enormous opportunity to tackle the challenge of youth employment with a robust focus on fostering youth-led digital entrepreneurship. We must therefore make concerted efforts in recalibrating education and seize the new opportunities offered in the changing digital space to create a better future for Africa's youth while developing our economies. To facilitate this change and enhance human capacity development in Africa, the African Union has developed key strategic frameworks to guide member states towards fostering education and skills revolution. When implemented, the strategies will be instrumental in accelerating the attainment of Agenda 2063 and the Sustainable Development Goals. These include the Science, Technology and Innovation Strategy for Africa, CESA 2024, the Continental Education Strategy for Africa, the CESA 2016-2025, and the Continental Strategy for Technical, Vocational Education and Training to foster youth employment. A central theme within all the strategies is strengthening of global partnerships for education and skills development in the continent. As called for by the Continental Education Strategy for Africa, CESA 2016-2025, the African Union has set up a coalition of partners in thematic clusters for implementation of CESA. These strategies must be weaved into the intricate tapestry of building quality education systems for development of Africa's human capital and positively respond to the continental and global challenges of the 21st century. Education institutions must therefore play their part as citadels of learning research and development of Africa's human capital for the realization of Agenda 2063. That is why the policy dialogue on innovative methodologies for youth and adult literacy programs in the midst of the pandemic and beyond, and the role of educators, which is the theme of this regional webinar, is very, very fundamental to the very realization of the place of education in Africa. The African Union Commission is and will continue to play its brokerage role towards facilitating the realization of Agenda 2063 and the African Union vision of an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa driven by its own citizens and representing a dynamic force in international arena. Africa's premier development blueprint, Agenda 2063, commits to speeding up actions that will catalyze education and skills evolution and actively promote science, technology, research, and innovation to build knowledge, human capital, and capabilities. It is also to be noted that curriculum and pedagogical reform are a complex process which cannot be targeted singly and in isolation from other interlinked components within the education system or the social, economic, and political context in which the African Union Agenda 2063 is committed to. There are three things that make up what is called effective pedagogy: teacher thinking, teacher doing, and teacher impact on student learning outcomes. And we know that globally, teacher status has been challenged by global curriculum and work reforms that place more demands on them. But efforts should be made to increase their participation and autonomy. And I believe that is why the role of educators need to be envisaged, need to be defined, need to be inspected for us to make sure that the quality of education that we need post-COVID and beyond can be realized. The case of the body of knowledge itself that is challenged through increased numbers of unqualified and undereducated teachers passing through alternative routes to the classroom should be minimized. Teacher characteristics as they enter teacher education are heterogeneous and include gender, background, in terms of location within a country, whether urban or rural, educational experience, and qualifications. Teaching experience, attitudes, and beliefs around teaching and learning. Such characteristics differ widely between countries. For example, the educational qualifications of teachers in Senegal are far more varied than those in Uganda, having implications for the kind of training that will meet their heterogeneous needs. We can see that from Pryor et al. 2012. Curriculum or the content of teaching may be designed to encourage learning processes, whether it is memory, attention, or observation. And cognitive skills, reasoning, comparing and contrasting, classification, as well as the acquisition of specific information, such as the names of the letters of the alphabet. In the case of early child education development, the teaching strategies or methods used in implementing the curriculum are the arranged interactions of people and materials planned and used by teachers. Therefore, the role of educators is also influenced by the manner in which they are remunerated. If we do not give them good salaries, they will not be motivated to teach, because motivation leads to job motivation leads to job satisfaction. I believe that the teacher's reward should not be in heaven, as is fondly said. That reward should come here. And if we make the teaching profession a respected or dignified teaching profession, everybody will stand and respect the teacher. That is why we have the Teachers Award that started in 2019, where we award the best teachers in the region with some money to make them understand that they are really, really respected and appreciated for the work they do. Many teachers, they teach, and their students or their pupils become medical doctors, they become treasurers, and they have money, but teachers are still wearing shoes that we call in Africa, I swear to God. That I swear to God is those shoes that the mat is already up like this and they have nothing. They ride bicycles rather than cars. When you ask a child today, what do you want to become? They hardly say they want to become teachers. They want to become engineers. They want to become pilots. They want to become medical doctors, etc. But if we make the teaching profession a dignified profession, then they want to do so many things. So when we speak about policy dialogue and innovative methodologies for youth and adult literacy programs, we need to think of the teachers who facilitate the courses and who teach the people. And that is why our minimal package that we call DOTS, that was actually adopted by the ministers of Education, Science and Technology in the Specialized Technical Committee that took place last year, where D stands for digital learning, O for online learning, T for teachers as facilitators. When your teachers are not well trained, it determines the quality of lectures they give to the students. But when they are well trained and they can wear suits to the classroom and look good and wear fanciful clothes, then they will generate confidence from the very inside. I'm a teacher, so I know what I'm talking about. I never wanted to be like my chemistry teachers, whose eyeglasses are always very thick. You don't even see their eyes. Or when they come to class, they walk, or they carry those big briefcases, but there is no car to put those briefcases on. So the role of educators is very, very important. And now, post-COVID, they need to be digitally trained. We need to bridge the digital divide. We need to make sure that there's green energy. We need to make sure that the ministries of education can link up with the ministries of infrastructure as well as finance in order to have the right infrastructures that will make them teach well. When this is done, then the teaching strategies or methods used in implementing the curriculum, which is the arranged interactions of people and materials planned and used by teachers, will be effectively done to give quality assurance. So in conclusion, we need to mention that this includes the teacher role, teaching styles, and instructional techniques. Another aspect of pedagogy, which is linked to educators, is the cognitive socialization. This refers to the role that teachers in early childhood settings play through their expectations, their teaching strategies, their curriculum emphasis in promoting the repertoire of cognitive and affective characteristics and skills that the young child needs to move down the path from natal culture to school culture to the culture of the larger society. So my sister, in conclusion, let me reiterate that human capacity development should drive the change and be the positive force for social inclusion. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, my sister, and to thank UNESCO for the work they do, and even through UNICEF, that we should continue working and be committed in this endeavor to drive this change. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Excellency, as usual, giving us the fire to really move us forward. You have really guided us through the strategies that you're looking at as African Union, the focus that you give, especially to science, technology, and innovation, your new focus on DOTS, which really puts the premium on digital and online support for quality. But most importantly, you have emphasized the role of educators, teachers in particular, and the motivation that must be provided. We thank you so very much. I'm sure with the number of participants here present, they will see how vibrant your commission is in really ensuring that literacy and employment, especially of young people, is given the focus and the attention that it deserves. I had, when I saw you skip the testimony, that should